Hope you packed your bags. We're going to go up to Canada for WrestleMania 6, the recreated edition by FRW. Let's begin. A few facts before we begin. WrestleMania 6 took place on April 1st, 1990. It took place in the Sky Dome in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A record at the time of 67,678 fans. This was Hogan's fifth of 8 main events. 36 in total wrestlers were at the event. 2 were in a dark match, but I'm not counting those because the rules state I have to only be reviewing matches that made it to TV. I'm going to be judging it based on accuracy and attire representation. And also I'm not including managers, valets, non-wrestlers, or custom figures. Must be retail released. Mass retail released. Let's begin. WrestleMania 6 Match 1. Rick Martel versus Koko B. Ware. And as you can see right there, the attires just don't match. Koko was in a red and white attire. His Elgin is red with white boots, but it's not split down the middle. Martel is in bluish, light blue attire. His Hasbro figure was in pink. His Jakks Pacific was in pink. His Mattel was in purple. His Elgin was in white. So they just don't have this attire. So it's not accurate. On to the second match, the Demolition and Axe and Smash versus Andre the Giant and Haku. This was a tag team title match, and you can recreate this match. There's King Haku right there. Obviously, he's missing underneath knee pads, which they didn't make back then. I don't think they still have made that. It's a very rare thing that only certain lesser toy companies have actually really focused on. Is Edge did not just wear tights with no knee pads underneath. You can see the bulge in the knee pad, but currently that just doesn't seem to be a case with the larger retailers. But you can recreate this. There's the Andre for you. There's the Haku. Axe and Smash. This is probably the cheaper alternative to trying to find their Mattel Elites. Third match was Earthquake versus Hercules. We do have an Earthquake coming out that does have the Canadian flag on the chest, and I couldn't find the photo, but I do believe he had the Canadian flag on the chest during this event. Obviously, the darker blue boots. Again, that's splitting hairs essentially. Hercules, though, definitely doesn't match. He has like baby blue trunks. This is, of course, his FaceTime with white boots with H's on the sides. LJN's the only one ever tackled Hercules. Then we got Brutus Bar Beefcake versus Mr. Perfect, and you've got the Classic Superstar Series 5 Brutus Bar Beefcake. That's the first Beefcake figure I ever owned, was that version. I was very enthralled. I was like, whoa, he's a guy in pink and black and not the Hart Foundation. I was still young in my wrestling figure days, and looking back nostalgically, I was an Attitude kid, so I didn't know anything before that really. But you've got WrestleMania Heritage Series Mr. Perfect, which is based on his WrestleMania 6 match with Brutus Bar Beefcake. Then you've got Brad News Brown versus Rowdy Roddy Piper. And believe it or not, you can recreate this match, and it is accurate if you can afford it. As you see right there, it's a Toy Fair 2007 giveaway. It's only one of 100 ever made. Very expensive figure. Very almost hard to find. Anybody who has one of those, it's probably sitting on their shelf in a Mylar sealed case or something. Because wow, the fact they're able to get away with producing this even back in the 2007 era compared to nowadays would not fly. People have said this is a very racial gesture that Piper made. Piper stated that it was just trying to be like Michael Jackson, black or white kind of thing. People have taken that as with a grain of salt or something. I remember the DVD said that. But the point is, if you want to recreate this match, Bad News Brown's only in Jakks Pacific ruthless aggression style, as we call it, and Piper's only in the classic Superstars deluxe aggression style, which is just deluxe aggression basically. So very expensive match to try to recreate. If you can do it, you already have that figure, more power to you. Then we've got the Hart Foundation, Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart versus the Bolsheviks, Boris Zhukov and Nikolai Volkov. Now, you found, I have Nikolai right there pictured. This Matt Mania is called the Russian, but apparently this is Boris Zhukov before he would come to the WWF. So, interesting. Of course, if you look at the attires, they had their jackets. The match was very quick and quickly over. Mattel knocked out of the park with representing the Hart Foundation easily right there. There's the attire, there's the look with the pink heart with the black in the middle. Really cool outlined heart design. Boris never got a Jakks Pacific figure. This is the only way you can get this figure. You can see he's wearing a singlet with that goes down past his knees. That could just be designer choice. I mean, maybe they wanted to try to make it more authentic, but when he wrestled, he had a singlet that kind of was I don't want to say ball hugger style, but ball hugger style. Then we've got Barbarian versus Tito Santana. Mattel has a Tito that matches. He didn't change his attire for the longest time. He kind of kept his Strike Force looking colors going even after they split up. Barbarian, of course, only has a Jakks Pacific figure. Mattel has not tackled the Barbarian yet, even in singles form or tag team, but we have a Warlord coming out that matches Powers of Pain. Maybe he's on the horizon sometime. Who knows? But for right now, that's the closest you can get to recreating that match. Then our first match of the Void. Unfortunately, I don't see this one ever leaving the Void either. American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and Sapphire versus Macho Man Randy Savage and Queen Sharmell. Dusty's got the proper attire. Queen Sharmell's got the proper attire. I thought for a second Savage had the proper attire. However, when I was able to get a better picture of it, and I was able to watch the match a little bit, it's more of a, I mean, the color's almost there, but it's not the way it looks. It's kind of wavy. It reminds me of 2001 Jericho with that weird color scheme attire kind of thing going on. So it actually is not accurate. Nonetheless, without Sapphire, the match wouldn't exist anyway. And you need Sapphire. And last time I checked, she wasn't on the good graces of WWE. From what I heard from her exit, she was very upset she had to split from Dusty Rhodes. I don't see her ever getting a figure, but you never know. Maybe somebody will attack her. Maybe FTC will get a hold of her. I mean, I'm not exclusively just going with Mattel, Jakks, LJN, Hasbro. Anybody out there, Zombie Sailor Toys, anybody want to make a Sapphire, then we can recreate this match. As far as like accuracy, well, only 2 so far are accurate. The 9th match, another one that goes right to the Void, is the Orient Express. Neither one of them got a figure. Of course, when you put someone under a mask, it's pretty easy just to throw anybody under that mask, essentially, and say it's them. But currently, there's been no Orient Express. I looked in the Japan lines, saw nobody. The Rockers, they're kind of based on their classic Superstars Series 1. This says limited edition, and it was. I remember getting this set when I first saw it at Toys R Us. Funny story was my buddy. I only had $20. They had the Road Warriors, they had the Rockers, and they had one more set, the Hart Foundation, I think it was. And my buddy gave me $20, and I had $20, so I bought 2 sets. I bought the Rockers, and I bought LOD, and I won the Hart Foundation. And another buddy of mine was like, well, and I'm not encouraging this. I was stupid for thinking this at the time, but he was like, come hang out with me for a little bit. So I go hang out with my friends. I don't partake of smoking marijuana. This is back when I was only 17, mind you. And long story short, they basically said, if you take a hit from this pipe, we'll buy that for you. We'll give you the $20 so you can buy it. And I did it. I got the Hart Foundation. I'm not proud of it, but at the time I didn't have a job, That's the only way I could acquire these figures. I knew they were going to be hard to find, and sure enough, when I went back and got them, the next day when I went back, because I was at the Pokemon League kind of thing, my little cousin was at the Pokemon League. I took him there. There's no more. They were all gone. Match 10 of this is Dino Bravo versus Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and if you look closely at the attire, he's got more of a lightish gray colored attire, Dino does, and his figure coming out only has blue trunks with white boots. It looks like that might be an off color. I can't tell from the picture, but it's not accurate. We can now create it as far as like, oh, that's cool. We have figures that represent those two wrestling, but it's not accurate. The $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase versus Jake the Snake Roberts. Again, another one that we can recreate, but it's not accurate because this is a magenta, purple, pinkish attire Jake with white snake. I've only ever seen him tackled in like black. There's a blue one coming out. There's a gray one. There's green, yellow, brown. And then of course there's like an offset blue as well, but never red or magenta or anything like that. Ted, of course, he's a go-to guy right there. You just need one of him, and you've got pretty much all his WrestleMania tires. Then we got Boss Man versus Akeem. Now, if you saw the last video, if you had those two figures, you could, the rockers, you can create the match. If you don't have the rockers, well, you can at least recreate WrestleMania 6's 12th match of Big Boss Man versus Akeem. But again, Akeem will be pretty costly. Mock. And then we got Ravishing Rick Rude versus Superfly Jimmy Snuka. The best I could find were these two. Jimmy kind of his attire. He's barefoot, which this figure was barefoot. But you can see right there, Rick Rude does not have any type of green attired looks. There's a lot of color going on there. A lot of busyness, if they would put it in the artistic world. And I found his busyness on this figure, but it's more of a blue color. It just says Ravishing in different colors. Really cool figure. I'd like to see that figure maybe in action figure form. Although I'm hoping out for more of a WCW look with short hair. We've got enough long-haired Rick Rudes. We need more short-haired Rick Rudes. And finally, the main event, the Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, and Jakks Pacific gave you the perfect 2-pack. It's again, a limited edition. It's from their WrestleMania 6. You've got both championships. In fact, you got the yellow Intercontinental title. These aren't painted titles in the middle, though, mind you. You will find more detailed Mattel figure belts of the world, and there's a Ultimate Warrior that came with the yellow Intercontinental Strap Championship belt. So if you want to find them, of course, they also have Mattel variants as well. Mattel does have a Ultimate Warrior series, I want to say 5. I could be wrong about that. I want to say 5 or 6. That's that Ultimate Warrior attire. Hogan, of course, you guys defining moments, you got Hogan pretty much the whole way through. So how do we do up in Canada? Let's find out. Well, we could not recreate this event. 3 wrestlers have never been made. That's Sapphire, Pat Tanaka, and Sato. We can recreate this pay-per-view entirely to an 85% rate. We're only 15% shy, but without those 3, 2 matches are in the void. Jakks took first place with 29 figures, though, at 85%. Then Mattel was second with 76% at 26 figures, so 3 less than Jakks. And you see right there, LJN still continue to dip down. Hasbro has not popped up yet, but LJN's taken third now for almost the 3rd or 4th straight video. Accuracy-wise, we're at 57%. So we're a little over halfway, we're a little over half, just by a little bit. But who knows, maybe we'll get closer. Will we find one before WrestleMania 10? You have to stay tuned and find out. I want to thank you for watching and leave a comment. Thanks again. As always, check back for WrestleMania 7, the redone edition coming soon. Subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's free. And if you subscribe to it, hey, all you're doing is just showing, you'll get notifications, you'll ring that bell of the next video that pops up. I've subscribed to countless channels. maybe I've only watched 1 or 2 of their videos. I don't, religiously expect people to see anything. I'm not putting Patreon stuff on there or whatnot. It'd be cool to, get this thing to one day be, I guess, monetized a little bit, because I plan to make a lot of these videos. Do I plan to become a full-time YouTuber? No. So check back again for WrestleMania 7. I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed.